Standard 2, Partnering with Families and Communities. Accomplished early childhood teachers work reciprocally with families and community partners to support each child's development and learning and to advocate for young children and their families. Accomplished early childhood generalists value, initiate, and maintain respectful and open relationships with families and community partners. Teachers are respectful of the varying types of families that are represented in their community, and they understand that parents' patterns of child rearing, as well as their values and beliefs about education, may differ from their own. They understand that families and community partners play a vital role in young children's development and learning. Teachers actively seek information about each child's family, including the family's culture and parents' expectations for children. Teachers foster mutually beneficial relationships between children and the community by helping children access community resources and finding ways for children to give back to the community in turn. Teachers use knowledge of factors such as socioeconomic conditions, family supports and stresses, cultural values, and home language to help each child develop and learn. Teachers also help families support learning at home by keeping them informed about what is taking place at school and within the community. Accomplished teachers advocate for policies and opportunities that support the building of partnerships with families and communities. Partnering with families. Accomplished early childhood teachers know that the family-school relationship is continuous, reciprocal, evolving, and essential. They understand that when the parent-teacher partnership is strong, children flourish. Accomplished teachers understand that parents are the first teachers of young children and that their influence is profound and enduring. Teachers help family members understand that they are vital members of the educational team. Teachers employ multiple approaches to learn how parents perceive the child, how they interpret the child's behavior, the expert knowledge they have about their child, and what immediate and long-term goals they have for their child. Teachers intertwine each family's goals for children with instructional goals to achieve educational success. They encourage parents to be active partners in their child's learning and development. They respond to parents' questions and concerns, and they learn from parents' observations about children's growth, development, behavior, and language. As a result, families and teachers learn together. Accomplished teachers act from the positive perspective that parents want their children to succeed. Accomplished early childhood teachers use knowledge of each child's family culture and language to share information that families can use at home. They help parents understand how the home environment affects young children's learning and development. They encourage parents to engage in such activities as reading to and with children and supporting the completion of home learning activities. Teachers understand that some families do not find it easy to provide these supports, and in such cases, teachers assume professional responsibility for seeking alternative approaches. For example, a teacher might invite community members of older children to come into the classroom to read one-on-one to children whose families are unable to engage in home storybook reading experiences. Teachers are knowledgeable about programs, community resources, and educational events, websites, and materials that families can use to extend and complement classroom learning experiences. Accomplished early childhood teachers view parents as essential and equal partners in decision-making, and they recognize the dependence of young children on their families. They know that parents' affirmation of the educational program is important to children's motivation and sense of well-being. Teachers also understand that the school's affirmation of the child's home culture and language is important to the child's well-being and to the ability of the home to support the child and the educational program. Partnering with families offers teachers the opportunity to learn crucial information about children and also about the resources families have to foster children's learning and development. Furthermore, families can volunteer and provide ideas, expertise, materials, and community connections. Accomplished teachers understand the importance of school family events where children and their families participate together in activities. Teachers organize and implement family events that are based on parents' interests and needs and that are sensitive to cultural norms in terms of food served, activities planned, location, time, and need for translators and interpreters. Understanding families and the community. Accomplished early childhood teachers are respectful of the types and varied structures of families in their community. They understand that parents' values and beliefs regarding education, as well as their styles of parenting, may differ from their own. They gauge parents' abilities, interests, and comfort regarding involvement in their child's education. They find a variety of ways to involve parents in their child's education, such as occasionally observing in the classroom, working as regular volunteers, or assisting in the creation of materials at home. Accomplished early childhood teachers involve families in conversations about topics such as young children's approaches to learning, their interests and learning behaviors at home, and the family's view of how to motivate their child to learn at school. Furthermore, teachers are aware of families facing difficult situations such as poverty, domestic violence, homelessness, incarceration, foster care, chronic illness, death, and transitions such as relocating, divorce, and remarriage. They understand that such factors may limit some parents' ability to participate in their child's education. For example, a parent who is working 2 jobs to support a child may not be able to volunteer in the classroom, but may be able to contribute in other ways. Accomplished teachers help all families and their children feel included in the classroom community, whatever their circumstances. Accomplished early childhood teachers recognize the complications and tensions that can arise when working with families. Communicating with and involving families are complex activities, even when parents and educators speak the same language and share many opinions and values. Cooperation is clearly more difficult when common ground is limited. Accomplished teachers seek to discuss openly with families significant differences in values, relationships, and routines. They recognize that by working together in equal and respectful partnerships, the home and school can solve problems over time. Accomplished early childhood teachers collaborate closely with families of children with exceptional needs to ensure that children's needs are met and services received. Teachers are well informed about the unique issues faced by such families. Accomplished teachers pay special attention to the parents of children with rare exceptionalities, respecting the fact that such parents may have more expertise in their child's needs and abilities than some education professionals. Teachers work with these parents to develop an appropriate educational program for their child. Accomplished early childhood teachers understand the powerful reciprocal relationship that exists between communities and schools. Teachers learn about the cultural and historical roots of the community that influence families, neighborhoods, and local organizations. They use this information to maximize the relevance of learning opportunities for children. Teachers are active in the community by patronizing local businesses, visiting community gathering places, participating in fundraising walks, or attending cultural events. These activities enable them to interact with an array of educational stakeholders, stay informed of current developments in their community, and connect the community with the educational program. Communicating with families and the community. Accomplished early childhood teachers understand that establishing reciprocal communication and relationships of trust with families of young children is essential to successful collaboration. Teachers understand that they are responsible for initiating family involvement, and they persevere if families are not responsive at first, seeking more effective approaches rather than assuming that some families are not interested in supporting their children's learning. Accomplished early childhood teachers know the importance of the first contact with parents, and they set a positive tone at the outset in order to lay a solid foundation for future interactions. They make special efforts to seek out families that are less assertive or open in expressing their views, and they strive to involve parents who might feel excluded or alienated from the school because of their own past educational or cultural experiences, or because of language issues. Teachers facilitate two-way communication of information with parents, as well as connecting families to one another, using tools such as home visits, surveys, newsletters, parent meetings, telephone calls, children's music performances, family dinners, websites, email exchanges, or social networking sites. Accomplished early childhood teachers place a priority on regular communication with parents about each child's progress. They continuously communicate what is happening in the classroom, why it is happening, and how families can get involved. Teachers are skilled at listening to, observing, and learning from family members. They solicit parents' goals and priorities for their children, reports of what children's responses to program experiences and relationships, and information about how children function at home and in the community. Teachers celebrate children's progress with families and assist them when a child needs additional support. Teachers admit honestly when they are unsure how to resolve an issue or need assistance, and they are prompt and resourceful in resolving such issues. They use a number of methods to explain assessment procedures and results, including written reports, annotated samples of children's work, and formal conferences. They provide information in a language that families can understand, securing an interpreter when necessary. Accomplished early childhood teachers understand that communicating with the community about education serves many important purposes. When community members know what children are learning and doing, they are empowered to be supportive in multiple ways. If members of the community hear that children are learning about community helpers, they can volunteer to come in to talk about their roles in the community, share historically powerful stories of when they were assisted by a community helper, or generate ideas of ways in which the children and teacher could become involved with the neighborhood project. Accomplished teachers skillfully mix an array of communication techniques, ranging from posting flyers at community centers and libraries to creating websites, in order to relay information about teaching and learning. They also understand how communication with the community provides meaningful occasions for children to share what they have learned and their pride in their accomplishments. Accomplished teachers welcome inquiries, address them in a timely fashion, and actively welcome information shared by organizations in the community. Helping families obtain support and services. Accomplished early childhood teachers exercise good judgment in working to meet the needs of families and young children. They understand their capabilities and limitations in responding to stresses and problems in the lives of families. They recognize situations in which a referral to other school professionals or community agencies is the most appropriate course of action, but they understand also the value at times of simply listening with empathy to a family's concerns. Accomplished teachers advocate on behalf of young children and their families by engaging colleagues and by networking for information and social support. Accomplished early childhood teachers are familiar with the variety of services available from school systems, agencies, and informal neighborhood organizations. They are alert to evidence of children's and families' needs in areas such as health examinations and services, immigration, financial services, social and recreational opportunities, adult literacy and employment training, respite care and mental health services, income support or employment counseling, and services to children or adults with exceptionalities. Teachers are able to ask the right questions to gain the information they need to support parents in need of health and social services. For example, a teacher might help a family obtain a free immunization that a child needs to enter kindergarten. Accomplished early childhood teachers plan and implement activities aimed at ensuring that young children and their families are comfortable making the transition from one educational program to the next. A preschool teacher might discuss kindergarten expectations with children and families, while a kindergarten teacher might introduce children to their next year's teacher, take children to visit the first grade classroom, or invite next year's teacher to speak to parents about upcoming experiences. Similarly, kindergarten and primary grade teachers obtain a working knowledge of pre-kindergarten childhood programs in the community in order to understand issues facing children and families about how to enter the elementary school setting. They learn about children's previous educational experiences at home as well as in organized programs. Working effectively with family and community partners. Accomplished early childhood teachers are active advocates for children. They acknowledge family and community members as key stakeholders in early childhood programs, and they value and encourage shared decision-making. They invite participation by parents and other family members and community partners when forming committees and advisory groups. They explain the processes by which decisions are made in regard to various policies, such as those related to curriculum, resources, testing, or special programs. Teachers give families and community members the guidance they need to have their voices heard. Accomplished early childhood teachers understand ways that the presence of family and community members in the classroom can provide support to individual children and to the various cultural groups represented in the classroom. They actively solicit family members and other community members, including senior citizens, to serve as volunteers and collaborators. They offer a variety of options for involvement, such as recounting personal experiences to the class or working on school improvement efforts, and they ensure that the time the volunteer spends is productive. Accomplished teachers are comfortable coordinating the efforts of volunteers. Consequently, volunteers feel welcomed in the classroom. Accomplished early childhood teachers recognize that not all those who wish to assist in the classroom come well prepared with the skills necessary for working with young children. Therefore, teachers prepare and actively supervise those who work alongside them. They anticipate problems such as volunteers gossiping about classroom events or using inappropriate language or disciplinary procedures. They prevent such problems by orienting and debriefing volunteers and observers and clearly explaining classroom norms and routines. Teachers ensure that volunteers understand and follow confidentiality requirements, and they facilitate the process by which all volunteers meet the local requirements for participation. Accomplished early childhood teachers find creative and mutually beneficial ways to partner with collaborators outside the classroom. For example, teachers might have children regularly visit residents of a local nursing home, thus providing opportunities for both the children and the nursing home residents to develop relationships and to share life experiences through oral, written, and artistic means. Moreover, the visits provide opportunities to increase children's understanding of the experiences of elderly people. This is the end of Standard 2.